This is my Sho Kosugi Ninja-to ninja sword collection. Up to date. So recently I was lucky to acquire a screen used stunt sword that was used in the movie Revenge of the Ninja. It's an alloy blade. You can see it's been used, very light. The difference between the stunt swords and the other swords, there's no habaki, made of alloy, and there's no hamon, no tempered edge, and no saya. So I now have two screen used swords. This one you might have seen in previous videos is my Ninja 3, the Domination screen used Ninja-to. This one has the saya, has a nice little decorative habaki, and of course the hamon, which isn't a real hamon, it's just wire brushed, but it's for close-up scenes in the movie to make it look realistic and flash. And of course the stunt swords are used for more fast pace with a bit of distance between the action and the camera. But if you watch the movies, if you watch them in the 80s and many times like I have, you probably already would have clued on to the difference in swords. Anyway, so been very lucky to acquire these. It was a childhood dream that always wanted a ninja sword, Sho Kosugi Ninja sword, like in the movies. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that I would own a screen used sword, let alone two from two of my favourite movies. My third favourite Sho Kosugi movie is Pray for Death. Hopefully get something that's screen used from that movie in the near future if possible. See how we go. So there's those two. Then we have this 1980 80's Ninja-to, which has the American style tanto point rather than the traditional Japanese kisaki. It's got a fake hamon. It's a stainless steel blade, still quite sharp. I was very lucky to acquire that one from my good friend John at That Ninja Show. If you don't know that channel, you should head over there if you're into this sort of stuff. He does a great job for us fans that love Sho Kosugi and ninja stuff from the 80s. Anyway, he also did a competition, and I was lucky enough to win that and won a few more Sho Kosugi items, which I've done a video previously about, if you want to check it out if you haven't seen it. Anyway, this one was always advertised in the 80s magazines like Inside Kung Fu, Ninja, Black Belt, all those sort of magazines, on the back page or inside the magazine. It was from a few companies did it, but the main one was what was it? AMA, I think. Anyway, I showed it in my previous Ninja Sword video. And then we have the modern made Sho Kosugi tribute swords. Both of these are T10 steel blades. Very good material, steel material to make a blade with real tempered edge hamon. This one over here has the groove, the bohi, which they call it a fuller. In Japan it's a bohi. This is the better one, or more realistic one, because Kosugi did not have a bohi on his Ninja-to in the movies. So I like the wrap style on this one with the smaller diamonds, but the scar, the handle, is a bit too long and very narrow to hold. The guard is also slightly too big. The saya is a little bit long, and they haven't put a whole lot of effort into making a point, opposed to this one, which has a little bit shorter scar, a little bit smaller suba, and a little bit more of a point on the saya. Now they've done a good job with the yokote. Has a nice boshi, which is the turn back in the hamon inside the tip. The yokote is the polished line in the middle of the screen there that goes down, separates the tip from the rest of the blade. So it's not bad for a Chinese made sword. They actually do make some good things in China, believe it or not. Not a lot though. When it comes to swords, they make some pretty good reproductions and martial arts training swords. I have some nice katana as well that were made in China from a couple of different companies. Better than their electrical products, that's for sure. Sorry if people don't like to hear that about China, but it is what it is. Everything made in Japan is made pretty much perfectly when it comes to swords. But anyway, this isn't about real Japanese swords, because Ninja didn't use these swords. These are movie swords. Thanks to Hollywood, it inspired me and kicked off interest in Japanese history, samurai and ninja history, and also martial arts. And yeah, I'm grateful to have that in my life. But these are just a part of my childhood, is how I look at it. And I know if you've watched this much of the video, you're probably the same. I can appreciate it. So anyway, this is my favourite out of the movie swords, screen used. Obvious reasons. Most people, their favourite is Revenge of the Ninja, so some people would prefer the stunt sword from Revenge of the Ninja. My favourite is Ninja 3 the Domination, so it's pretty cool to have that one. And if you wanted to cut stuff like pool noodles or tatami mats, water bottles or anything like that, these are what you want. And if you can't find a screen used sword, because they are getting harder and harder to find, of course, you can get these on eBay. So if you type in Sho Kosugi Ninja-to sword, or just Ninja-to, these should pop up. I've noticed there's more options now, different lengths, so you can get the same lengths as these two. And I think, I'm not too sure how many, but there's probably at least 4 different lengths, between long ones down to tanto length. Pretty cool. Anyway, that's about it for me with this video. Hope you enjoyed seeing my Sho Kosugi Ninja-to collection. I don't think I'll be getting any more Ninja-to at this stage. Never say never. And probably do another video with all my Sho Kosugi collection items, including posters and magazines, books and other miscellaneous soon. And that's it for now. Have a good weekend.